Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and this is our last lap to CUET 2022. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to everybody. Very good evening. Hi Akansha, very good evening. I hope you can hear and see me clearly. So CUET is just around the corner and we have only a few days to go. Through this session, we shall be attempting some important VL topics on which we haven't had individual classes on. So there are some topics that have been left. We're going to touch upon those topics today that can be asked as verbal logic questions because the entire syllabus of CUET is a little ambiguous. We assume verbal logic can be asked and thus we need to touch upon these topics as well. Make sure you practice them with me so that if these questions come, you are not in a position to regret. Yes, absolutely audible and visible. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So, few classes we've already had on assumptions, conclusions, syllogisms. We've understood various concepts of verbal logic and how we apply logical reasoning to statement-based questions. Today, we're going to be touching upon a few topics that we haven't done yet. Let's have a look at what topics we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing statement conclusions. We did assumptions. We're going to be doing conclusions today. Not through syllogism, but through statements. We will be touching upon strong and weak arguments, logical consistency, and assertion and reason. So these are the four topics we'll be touching upon today and solving some questions from each type of question, each type of topic rather. So that's the agenda of the class. Let's start with the statement conclusion question and understand what exactly am I supposed to do here. You remember the syllogism class I had taken with you where I had taught you that you will be given two statements, okay, and through the two statements we have to, okay, by the way, is this yellow color visible to everyone? Is the yellow color visible to everyone? Should I change the color of the pen? I'll make it a blue. Yeah, blue looks better. Okay, I'll make it a blue. Okay, yellow looks a little bright. I'll make it a blue. Cool. So what did I teach you in syllogisms? I gave you two statements and you had to combine the two statements through Venn diagrams and draw conclusions. And we learned that conclusions are going to be those conclusions that are going to be absolutely true in every possible scenario, right? So, you remember the example that I had given you? There are clouds in the sky. Is it necessary that it's going to rain? No, not necessary. So, it could be a probable conclusion, but not a certain one. And thus we concluded that a conclusion is going to be true only and only when it's an absolutely certain conclusion. If you can think of a possibility when the conclusion is wrong, the conclusion is going to be a false one. Today, we're going to learn conclusions, but through statements where we cannot draw a Venn diagram. When we cannot draw a Venn diagram, I have to read the statement, process it in my head, and see what all can be absolutely concluded. Whatever you conclude needs to be a sure shot conclusion. Remember that. It cannot be a probable one. It needs to be true in every scenario. That's what you need to remember in statement and conclusion questions. Let's start with the first question, everyone. These are your directions. Okay. So you'll mark A if only one follows, only two follows, both can also follow, neither can also follow. These are four options that we have. Okay. Just don't remember ABCD. Just write only one, only two, both, and neither. You can write that in the chat box and I'll understand your answers. This is the very first question that we have. Solve this and tell me how many conclusions will follow. Good luck, everyone. Ma'am, if there is a strong possibility that be a conclusion, no, No, Piyush. Not a strong possibility. It has to be a certainty. There are clouds. There's a strong possibility it will rain, but that's not a correct conclusion. That it will rain. If my conclusion says there is a possibility it will rain, I will mark that correct. Did you get it, Piyush? Everyone? Okay. So I have only two and neither. Only two and neither. Okay. Only two. Okay. Let's understand the question. The use of non-conventional sources of energy like solar. Conventional are petrol, diesel. Okay. The use of non-conventional sources of energy will eliminate the energy crisis in the world. This is limited. There is crisis. If we depend on this, the crisis will be resolved. That's what the question says. Yeah. A says modern technology is gradually replacing the conventional sources. I don't know if it is replacing this or not. The author promotes the usage of this over this, promotes the usage of this, but that doesn't mean that this is already replacing the conventional ones. We don't know that. A is going to be wrong. Okay. The next one. Excessive exploitation of environment has led to the depletion of conventional resources. From this statement, how do you know what has led to the crisis? How do you know? Are you using your GK that we are exploiting a lot? We don't know that, right? We're using our GK. The question says there's a crisis. But what is the reason of the crisis? Do we know that? We don't know the reason for the crisis. If we do not know the reason of the crisis, we can't say excessive exploitation has led to the depletion of conventional sources. We can't use RGK. So our correct answer is going to be here. Neither. Not even two. That's neither. Did it make sense to everyone? Okay. It's going to be neither. Let's have a look at the next question. Basically, statement conclusions are only a play of words. You need to look at the words very carefully. Okay, next one. Good luck. Okay, Rohit. All right, Diya. Ma'am, is there a trick to solve these questions like negation and assumption? Rohit, there's only one trick I'll tell you that's going to help you every time. The trick is putting a therefore. Okay, so if this is true, can I put therefore and find this answer? That's the trick. Let's try it out here. Okay, the gap between the rich and the poor can be bridged if the income tax is increased for people earning more than 24 lakhs per annum. Therefore, can I say there is no other way? Is it necessary that there is no other way? There could be other ways, but this author may be promoting this way. Could that be true? So all you have to do is think of one possibility where this could be wrong. Or think of one possibility where this could be wrong. If you can think of one possibility where these could be wrong, they are wrong. But if there is no possibility this could be wrong, this has to be true. If this is true, putting a therefore, that's how you get your answer. There is no other way is an extreme one. There could be other ways. The author is promoting this way. False. A is wrong. Okay. Let's look at B. Taxpayers will protest. Is it necessary? In reality, is it necessary that if I charge taxes, is it necessary that the taxpayers will protest? Yes or no? Yes or no? If I increase the taxes, is it necessary that the taxpayers will protest? It can happen, right? But is it a certainty? It's not a certainty. It can happen, but people may be okay. Maybe they understand that the gap is too big and we need to pay. This is not a necessity. A conclusion has to be a necessity. If this is true, this has to be true. They will protest, maybe not. The correct answer is neither. Okay? It's neither. Hi, believer. Okay. Piyush, are you solving questions in the app? Why are your answers not coming in? Next question, everyone. Good luck. I need to solve this question, my child. It's a little tricky. Please read the question carefully. Okay. Only two. Okay. Others? Only two. You need to understand the question, the statement. If you don't understand the statement, you will actually be confused between the options. Understand what the statement is trying to say. What is it trying to mean? Let me explain the question to you. I have only two, only one, neither. I have both all the answers here. Let's understand the question here, okay? Computer advertisements now fill magazine pages. So there are computer ads in the magazines, but these ads are not the real reason for revolution in India. Computer revolution in India is not because we see so many ads in magazines and newspapers. The real revolution in India is happening quietly, but it's happening because it's a revolution. It's happening quietly, but it's revolutionizing. How is it happening? It is happening because of the organization of the government. It is happening because the government is putting in efforts. That's the main computer revolution. This is the reason for the main computer revolution, not advertisements that you see in magazines or newspapers. Now you can change your answers. I'll give you 1 more minute. Suprajai, do you want to change your option after the explanation that I've given you? What's your answer, guys? Neither? Okay. The correct answer is only one. Now let's understand how. So when I say government and when I say India, you need to assume that we are talking about central and state both. Okay. That's one assumption that's always taken while we talk about a government. We can't deny the fact saying, how do we know there's a state government and a central government? Basically, it talks about government. Okay. And when we say the organization of the government is creating computer revolution, that means they are computerizing rapidly, because if they are not computerizing rapidly, we cannot say that this is responsible for the revolution. This has to be a necessity here. That means if the government organization is responsible for the computer revolution, therefore we can say that the central and state or everybody in the governance is contributing to the revolution. That is computerization. Because their rapid contribution is necessary to create the real reason for the revolution in the country. Thus, it's going to be only A. Oh, Ria, I'm just tired. This is my third consecutive class. I've been teaching since 5 p.m. Maybe that's why I look a little tired, but I'm happy. Okay? I'm absolutely happy. So, and this is thankfully my last class of the day and of the week. And my week is done after this. Okay, so the correct answer is an A. Okay? All right. Yes, trending shots. You got that correct in the first go. I saw your answer. Let's look at the next question, everyone. Here you go. Supraja, did you get it? Okay. Only one, neither. Only one, neither. Okay. Okay. Most of you got this correct. Acha, Supraja, you did not understand the question at all, or you did not get it right? You need to tell me that. Otherwise, how would I know? Okay. Let me explain this one to you. The correct answer is only one. So, some people, you can do this through syllogism as well. Okay. Some people have an allergic reaction to protein found in the eggs. These are the people who have allergic reaction. Animals can also have allergic reaction. Insects can also have allergic reaction. Some people have allergic reaction. Maybe some people do not have allergic reaction as well. Having a cake might lead to an allergic reaction for some people. Yes, these people will have allergic reaction. These people will not have allergic reaction. So might makes this statement absolutely correct. When I say some people have an allergic reaction, does not necessarily mean all will have. Some people may have, some people may not have. So this word might, most of the times when this word is added, may, might, to conclusions, very likely the conclusions are correct ones. Okay, so it's only one. Oh, all right. But then second is absolutely false. Second is absolutely false because where is it? Here. Because we don't know if it is added to all kinds of cakes. It is commonly added to make cakes, commonly, but then we can have eggless cakes as well. That does not necessarily mean it's added to all kinds of cakes. All makes it narrow. Words like all, only, necessary, these usually make our conclusions wrong, and may. This word usually makes our conclusion correct. That's a usual procedure that you can follow. Okay. Let's have a look at strong and weak arguments now. But before I show you strong and weak arguments, did you hit a like button? Don't be a miser. Please hit a like button. Please hit the share button. Share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Thank you, my children, if you have done that already. Okay, let's have a look at the next kind of question. Strong and weak argument questions. What are you supposed to do here? In strong and weak arguments questions, you would be given a debatable topic. Should reservation be banned? Should CAA be implemented? Should hate speech be banned? Should abortion rights be given to women in USA? A debatable topic. A, B. You'll be given two statements. They can be in support, they can be opposing. Looking at individual statements, you will have to identify how many statements are strongly put and how many statements are weakly put. Now, both the statements are independent. You first read A and see if it is strong or not. You then read B and see if it is strong or not. Both could be strong, both could be weak. For example, should reservation be banned? Yes, it creates injustice in the society. B, no, it's the necessity of the hour. I'll look at each statement individually and I'll see if it is a strongly put statement or not. Now, thank you, Akansha. And some to Diya. Yes, you're right for the previous one. Now, how do I decide if a statement is strongly put or not? Imagine yourself as a judge. Two lawyers are fighting in front of you. If a lawyer gives you one argument, A or B, will the judge listen to the argument? If the judge will listen to the argument, it's strong. By the way, Praveet, your answer is correct. If the judge will listen to the argument, it's a strong one. If the judge will discard the argument saying, oh, what crap, I'll not listen to you. Your argument is merely a statement or merely an opinion without any justification, without any logic, then it becomes a weak argument. The judge has to listen to what you're saying. So your statement needs to be backed up with information, explanation, logic to make it wrong. And if it's merely an opinion, a generic statement, no detail, no explanation, it becomes a weak argument. Okay, let's try to apply all this. I've already explained whatever's written here. The question is a statement. Let's solve a few questions. Here you go. Only one can be strong, only two can be strong, both can be strong, both can be weak. Use the directions and give me your answers here. Here you go. Thank you, Diya. Thank you. Only one? Only two? Okay, let's understand this question, everyone. Okay, so there's a debate in the court going on. Okay, and the debate is that government schools already have midday meals. Should private schools also have it? Those people who are saying two is strong, I think I know who did it. Pravi, let's look at it this way. Avantika, let's look at it this way. Neetu, you too. If this develops an attitude of getting free service, it could have happened in the government schools as well, right? Right? We are already doing it in government schools and we want to promote it in private schools. That means it's working in government schools and we want private schools to follow that. If this is true, this should not have happened is actually contradicting the theory of the question. Do you agree, Praveer and Avantika and Prerna and Neetu? Because if that's the theory, even the government schools shouldn't have one. The judge will say, oh, I'll not listen to your statement because the government schools already have it and it's working there. We need to provide it to private schools. They're no different. The kids are no different, right? So, 2 is a weak argument. Let's look at 1. Just like government schools, should midday meals be provided in private schools? Yes, this will improve eating habits of students. How? Is there a reasoning given? How will it improve eating habits? We don't know. Both are weak in this case. Neither 1 nor 2 is strong. Okay? We need to give a reasoning. Supraja, did you get why is 1 weak? Because how will it improve eating habits of the students? There need to be a correlation. Midday meals are free meals, right? How will it improve eating habits? So, neither is strong. All right? Let's look at the next question. Here you go. I have 18 people watching me live. Why don't I have 18 likes? Do this, my children. If you're learning from me, if you think it's beneficial, please do that. Please hit a like button. Avantika says 2. Okay. 2 is strong. Okay. Only 2. Okay. Should practical examination be banned for class 10 students? Yes, practical examination do not provide true picture. Judge will say, get out. Is it not the opposite? A practical examination is the one that provides true picture. This is merely an opinion without any data, without any explanation. He'll say, okay, if you think it does not provide a true picture, tell me how it does not provide a true picture. Because right now it sounds only like an opinion to me. First, absolutely is weak. Okay? Correct. First is weak. Let's look at the second one. Okay, only 2. Okay, let's look at the second one. No, practical exams are an integral part of assessment as practical application. Okay, this is an opinion. But then, this is an explanation. He backs up his opinion with reasoning. He says it's necessary. Why is it necessary? Because this is an application of concepts that we need in today's world. So if things that are needed in today's world are applied in practical examinations, we need practical examinations. We have a proper reasoning given here after as. That is a justification of the argument. A justification when they're mentioned in an argument makes an argument absolutely strong. Yes, most of you got that right. The correct answer is going to be only 2 is strong. Let's have a look at the next question. Here you go. This one is easy actually. Both are weak, okay. Neither. Okay, let me make you understand this question. All right. Now you say 1. Okay, let's understand the question. Let me see the app as well. Wait. Okay. Only. Okay. No answers in the app. Should swimming be made a compulsory subject for all school students? Okay, necessary to learn swimming. Okay. Yes, swimming is a very important survival skill. Will swimming help you survive? Yes. If it's about life and death, does it not make a strong argument in itself? Will the judge listen to you when you say, sir, a student will survive if you know swimming? It's a survival skill. So it should be made compulsory. Will he pay heed to your argument when you talk about life and death and something that can save your life? He will. He will. Prerna, not necessary, because sometimes the question, the argument in itself is explanatory. It doesn't need reason. When you say survival skill, in itself, it is explanatory. You don't need to give a justification why it is a survival skill. Do you get my point, Prerna? And do you guys understand why is one a strong argument here? B says it's a waste of time. The judge will say, get out. Why is it a waste of time? Give me a reason. It's only an opinion. But this is not an opinion. Swimming is a survival skill. It's a fact. It's a waste of time is an opinion. So, Prerna, when you have opinions, we need reasons. When you have facts, we do not need reasons. No, Diya, no. Because when somebody is drowning, it is essential to save you to know swimming. It is a very important survival skill. It is essential that you know swimming. I'll explain this again. Okay, Prerna, I'll give another try. In case of opinions, we need a reason to justify why is it a waste of time. Because it is not self-explanatory. But if the statement is self-explanatory, we don't need a reason. I'll give you another example of how a statement can be self-explanatory. Should tobacco be banned? Yes, it causes cancer. Do I need to explain it furthermore? Or is yes, it causes cancer enough to make it a strong argument? Prerna, give this question a try. Exactly, Indranil. It's going to be strong even if that important is not added. Shreya, I'll move. Give me a second, please. Okay. Trending shots, it took me a second to understand what you're trying to say, but now I get it. Okay? All right. So, if it says tobacco causes cancer, it's self-explanatory. It doesn't need any more explanation. It's a fact. Similarly, it's a fact. It's a strong argument. You don't need justification. Next question. Hi, Jatin. Don't send me these hearts. My video team will block you. Okay. A. All right. 1. Only 1. Okay. Should testing of vaccine on animals be stopped? Yes, many vaccination lead to disabilities. If I say this to the judge will say, yes, I will pay it to you because nothing should harm animals. If it causes severe diseases like disabilities, I will listen to you. Very strong argument. It's like tobacco causing cancer, right? No, testing of animals is unacceptable. That's an opinion. It's unacceptable for you. Maybe for me it's acceptable. Judge will say, back it up with reason, dude. Why is it acceptable? Okay, this is going to be a weak argument. My answer is only and only one. I've started fumbling. Okay, the correct answer is only one. Akansha, did you get it? Indranil, did you get it? Mukul, did you understand? It's like, should tobacco be banned? Yes, it causes cancer. Judge will listen to you. Okay, I'll tell you something. Some arguments that talk about hampering the physical capability, hampering the society, they usually are strong arguments. Okay? I hope everyone's convinced here. All right. Assertion reason. Pure GK question. Don't use your logic, use your GK. It's going to check your GK. Okay? I'll show you the kind of questions that are there. So basically, you're given two statements and that's the direction. You have to identify if this statement is true according to your GK or not. If this statement is true according to your GK or not. And if both are true, are they relatable or not? So it's basically a GK question with relatability applied by logic. Simple. The directions, okay, so GK is used to solve these questions. That's only you need to remember. Don't use logic, use GK. It's weird why these questions appear in verbal logic section, but that's how it is. So your directions are both are true, but R does not explain A. This is the reasoning part. So both these are true and one explains the other. One does not explain the other. One is false, other is true. One is true, other is false. Read the directions carefully and tell me if you understand the directions. Basically a GK question. You need to first check if both A and R are true or not. If both are true, you'll see if they're relatable or not. If they're relatable, mark A. If they're not relatable, mark B. If one is false, other is true, out of C and D, you choose one. Okay. Same directions, okay? Thank you, trending shots. Okay. A is false, but R is true. Now, Kunal, it's actually easy, I'll tell you. It's a GK question, by the way. So, bulb filament is not made of titanium, it's made of tungsten. So, A is false. A filament should have low melting point. If a filament has low melting point, the bulb will burst in a minute. It should have high melting point. It shouldn't melt even at high temperatures because the bulb is going to heat up. Both are going to be false. So, a filament should have high melting point. It shouldn't melt even at high temperatures. And a filament is not made of titanium but tungsten. Both are wrong. Yes, Mukul. Neetu, did you get it? Kaise karna answer? It's basically a GK question. I told you this is a GK question. Okay? Let's have a look at the next question. You're going to hate me. Give this question a try. Shreya, so the only trick is if you know the answer, you mark it. If you don't know, you just skip it. If there's negative marking, don't take risk. That's the only key. Okay? Okay? Okay, now let me help you a little. Both are true. Now, if both are true, is are a correct explanation of A or not is what you have to answer. Let's do logic, okay? I'll tell you the GK part. You use logic. GK says both are true. If both are true, is are a correct explanation of A or not? You're right, Indranil. A certainly is true. It is, Akansha, it is a correct explanation. So basically, moon cannot be used as a satellite for communication. Why? It cannot be used as a satellite for communication because it does not move in the equatorial plane of the earth. Because it does not move in the equatorial plane, that's exactly why we cannot use it as a satellite. Because every satellite has to move in the same equatorial plane as the earth has. This is a correct explanation of it. Okay? Next one. You are going to hate me. Don't Google, okay? Don't Google anyone. Yes, Kunal, you're right. Have you heard of Dras, by the way? It is Supraja, it is. One is true, two is false. Dras is the coldest place in India, but mm, it's not situated in the elevation of 5550 meter. It's situated in an elevation of 3300 meter. Don't kill me for this question. You know, that's the kind of questions that appear, okay? Ah, you don't even know of the place? It's okay. It's okay. That's beyond Ladakh, okay? Dras is basically near Kargil. So A is true, but R is false. Next question. Yeah, still the coldest, Akansha. It's a dry, cold desert. Indranil, do this question. I actually feel like Amitabh Bachchan right now. What's your question, Dia? I don't know the answer. Guess bhi nahi kar sakte. No, you can't guess. And you shouldn't guess if you have negative marking here. Legal voting age is 21. One is false, absolutely. One is false. The legal voting age is not 21, that's 18. Okay? Next kind of question, logical consistency. Let's do this. It's more of a reasoning question, okay? You'll be happier looking at this. In logical consistency, there are a few rules. Let me teach you a few rules, okay? But here we go, okay. For example, let me explain something to you. Wait. For example, you are given statements like, if it rains, the ground gets wet. So you in logical consistency will have one cause and one effect. Okay? Out of the cause and effect, you have to figure out 4 possible conclusions. Understand this, everyone. Okay. Anything else? All right. So you have to look for 4 possible conclusions. First is, if cause happens, will effect necessarily happen? If it rains, will the ground necessarily get wet? Yes. So I'll write the rules for you. If you have the if, when, whenever words written, cause happening will always lead to the effect happening. That is, if it is raining, the ground will always be wet. And if the effect did not happen, that means the cause has certainly not happened. That is, if the ground is not wet, that means it has certainly not rained. Because had it rained, the ground would have been wet. Did you understand this cause and effect relationship in case of if, when and whenever conditions used? Did you understand this, everyone? These questions can appear in the reasoning section as well. So when I say if it rains, the grounds get wet, I can also say when it rains, the ground gets wet. Whenever it rains, the ground gets wet. Okay, नहीं तो ये question है बच्चे. If it rains, the ground gets wet का मतलब ये 2 conclusion draw हो सकते हैं. पहला conclusion है कि अगर बारिश होगी तो ग्राउंड गीला होगा और अगर ग्राउंड गीला नहीं है तो बारिश नहीं हुई है. यही 2 conclusions है जो follow करेंगे. ठीक है? Second condition. You can write this down. I'm erasing it. Second condition. If it says only if. Okay. For example, only if you study, I will teach. Otherwise, I will not teach. In the case of only if the cause will not happen, the effect will not happen. If you will not study, I will not teach. And if the effect is happening, then the cause certainly must have happened. That is, if I am teaching, you must have studied, because that is the necessary condition for me to teach you. That is, in only if scenarios, these are the 2 conclusions that will follow. Only if is the opposite of if, when and whenever. Did you get this, everyone? I'll write both the cases in columns for you. If, whenever, of, if, if, whenever. And the second case is only if. These are opposite to each other. In case of if, when, whenever, cause will happen, which will lead to effect happening. And if effect did not happen, the cause did not happen. Only if is the opposite. That is, if cause did not happen, the effect hasn't happened. And if the effect happens, the cause will always happen. These are the two rules, okay? You can copy these rules. Let's apply this rule to our questions. Let's understand that through questions. Whenever I sleep, there is a power cut. This is my cause, this is my effect. In case of whenever, the two rules that follow is if cause will happen, effect will happen. And if the effect did not happen, the cause will not happen. These are the two certain conclusions that we can follow. Whenever I sleep, there is a power cut. That means if I slept, that means, which is the correct answer here? Which is the correct answer here, everyone? Absolutely. No, that's A. That's A, my children, A. Let's reiterate. Let's understand that again. Whenever I sleep, there's a power cut. Whenever केस में क्या क्या फॉलो करेगा? Cause होगा तो effect होगा. Right? Cause, तो अगर cause हो रहा है, I sleep means cause हो रहा है. Therefore, effect जरूर हो रहा होगा. Effect होने का मतलब क्या हुआ? Power cut होगा या हुआ था. That means A will follow. Cause होने पे effect होगा. ये rule follow करेगा. Now do you see that? Why is A wrong and why A correct and why is B wrong? आया सबको समझ में? A क्यों follow कर रहा है? जब जब मैं सोऊंगा पावर कट होगा. मतलब अगर मैं सोया तो पावर कट हुआ. आया समझ में? Yes, Shuprajoy, that's A. Chalo, let's apply it to another question, okay? Let's solve another question. Same whenever case है, ठीक है? तो whenever case में what are the two conclusions that follow? Cause होने पे effect होगा और अगर effect नहीं हुआ तो cause भी नहीं हुआ होगा. Apply this and solve this question. This is the cause, this is the effect. सब गलत है. Everyone is wrong. Think again. Everyone is wrong unanimously. App में भी now you're getting it, my children. Now you're getting it. It's a C. Let me explain this question to you again. Okay? Forget the question. Let me give you another example to explain this. If it rains, the ground gets wet. Okay. Now, here, this is my cause and this is my effect. In this case, the two conclusions that follow will be cause happening will lead to effect happening. That is, if it is raining, the ground will be wet. And if the effect hasn't happened, that is, if the ground is not wet, it certainly hasn't rained. Okay? If the ground is wet, does that necessarily mean it has rained? Yes or no? If the ground is wet, does that necessarily mean it has rained? That is, if effect has happened, does that necessarily mean the cause has happened? Can it be any other cause as well? It's not necessary that it has rained. There could be other causes as well. Let's apply the same logic to this question. Whenever it rains, the peacock dances. But the peacock can dance on other occasions as well. The peacock will certainly dance when it has rained, but he can also dance on other occasions. So when I say the peacock has danced, does that necessarily mean it has rained? A? No. It might have rained. It could be other reasons also. Thus, the correct answer here is a C. Now, did you understand this, everyone? If you did, send me a thumbs up. Yes, it's a C. Now you've got that correct. Neeraj, what's your question, my child? I didn't get your question. Are you asking my percentage? Ah, okay. Next question. If I work a lot, the teacher does not punish me. This is the cause. This is the effect. What will follow? Cause will lead to effect. And if the effect does not happen, the cause will also not happen. Yes, Indranil just needs some practice. Neeraj, I failed 3 times in my 12th. And that is not true. I was a mediocre child. I got roughly 70, 75, something of that sort only. Now you're getting a hang of it. That's it. The correct answer is a C. Yes, it is a C. Now you're getting the hang of it. See? It's a C. It just needs a bit of practice. That's all. Okay? One last. Use your common sense. I will not explain this question to you. Use your logic, use your common sense. Diya, that could actually happen. But I'll be famous for that, right? B, all right. Okay. You guys are getting the hang of it. It is not A. It's a B. It's a B. Let's understand how. Stella either has chips or fries, but she can have both as well, right? I mean, when I come to your home, understand it this way. When I come to your home and you ask me, ma'am, will you have tea or coffee? Can I not answer? I'll have both. Or if you ask me, ma'am, will you have either tea or coffee? And I say, I'll have tea. Can after 10 minutes can I not ask for coffee? I can, right? It's a possibility that I can have both. Either or does not mean only one. Either or means if one does not happen, the other will certainly happen. That is, if you ask me, ma'am, will you have tea or coffee? So I'll say, oh, no, I'm allergic to tea. That means I can have coffee. Or I say, oh, no, I hate tea. That means I'll have coffee. If one does not happen, then other will happen. But if one has happened, I can also take the other one. If Stella either has chips or fries, the second statement says Stella has chips, she may have fries as well. ये नीरज को ब्लॉक करो भाई पहले. Senseless. Alright, did you get the answer here, everyone? The correct answer is a B. So, remember your fundamental. When you're practicing, you can revisit my class with the theory that I've taught you. Practice a lot of questions that will make sure you get the hang of these questions. Make sure you join us for our live detailed analysis of the CUET 22 first impression whenever the examination happens. Subscribe to our channel. Please like the video if you haven't done that yet. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you haven't done that yet. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram. Download our app on Google Play. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night. And God bless you. Bye, everyone.